Hello my friends, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome to part 9 of the double neck guitar build project. So this is becoming an ongoing theme now, but once again apologies for the abrupt ending of the previous video. I hadn't been keeping an eye on the time, got stuck into what I was doing, and obviously the video timed out. So I don't even know where the last one left off, because I haven't checked any of my previous footage yet. I'm just kind of continuing with the work. So in the last video I had installed the pickups and the jacks, and permanently installed the necks, and then I was gluing the back panel on and clamping it all up. So I'm not sure where the video ended up, but that's where the work ended up, shall we say. Let me just move that back a bit. So it looks like something out of a casualty hospital ward, but it really isn't as bad as it looks. So I've got a series of clamps on there, and I've got this, this rubber band strapping as well, just holding everything in place. So now it's time to take it all off and see what we've got. Hopefully it should all be fine, and even if it's not going to be difficult to re-glue any parts that haven't stuck properly, but as I said, it should be fine. Okay, so I'm not sure if it was captured in the previous video, but this rubber band is basically just an old motorcycle inner tube cut into a long strip. So you basically cut around the tube and just keep going and going and going until you cut the whole thing down. So time to take that off now. Take that off first. Okay. So, you know, as I said before, I'm getting towards the latter stages of this build, but coming towards the lacquer finishing, which is going to be quite a long process, because I'm hoping to do about 8 to 10 coats of lacquer on this, and you know, you need to leave it to dry for 24 hours between coats, and then give it a light sanding and apply the next coat. So obviously that alone is going to be 10 days. And then after I've applied the final coat, I want to leave it to dry and harden for about a week before I do the final assembly, just to make sure that the finish is nice and dry and hard, because what I've experienced in the past is even leaving it for like 2 days, you know, when you go to handle it, you leave sort of thumbprints all over it, and you know, because the lacquer is still reasonably soft. So I'm going to leave it for about a week before I do the final, build, putting everything together. Although most of it is on now, it's really just the bridges, the strings and string trees, and then a setup once I get to that stage. Right, so that's the rubber band off. Rid of it. Okay, so remove all the clamps now. As I said, I'm sure it will be fine. There may be 1 or 2 areas where it looks like it's not stuck, but we'll see. Okay, 3 more. Right, I'll put those clamps away in a minute. Just wanted to have a quick look, make sure everything is looking good. Does look as though there's an area at the side that might need a little more attention, but I don't think so, to be honest. Top's good. Other side, yeah, that's fine. And the bottom. might be one small area there, but overall quite happy with that. Okay, so let's get all these clamps out of the way now I know that that's done. Okay. So the next stage now is to bevel the back edge like I did the top edge with my router. Okay, let's just get rid of all these clamps. Right, that's done. Okay, so I've got my router here with the bit still installed and still set at the same depth that I did the top, so I know that it's ready to to do the job straight away. And this, I mean, it is only plywood on the back of this. I think it's about 4 mil thick, thereabouts 3 to 4 millimeters. And one thing I have experienced in the past with this, using the router, etc., is it can, the top surface can split out quite badly. I mean, it already is along the bottom edge anyway, so it is what it is. It's to round all the edges off by hand. It could be 40 minutes to an hour. To do it with the router, it's about 20 seconds. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. And as it's already chipped out anyway, it's not going to necessarily make it any worse. So I need an extra plug socket. Let's see if that one will work actually. Let's try the other one. I might need to unplug something here. Okay. I'm going to just unplug the light, see if we're still good for light. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Don't necessarily need the light there. Okay, so all I'm going to do is with the router just go all the way around the back edge to round it over. I might need to do it twice, where I've got a little bit of excess hanging over, but we'll see. I'm going to switch the microphone off while I do this because it's really noisy. So it's going to go silent for you for the time being. Went really well, no problems at all, no extra chip out. Obviously I'm going to have to finish it by hand, but yeah, good, no problems at all. I'm happy with that, and as I said, it's it's cut to the same angle as the top part, so I'm not going to push my luck and try and go any further with that. I'm happy with that. But the back of this is really quite rough. So I'm going to use my palm sander to do a majority of the sanding, but I will have to finish it by hand. So on to silent again for you. Okay, that's going nicely. I've got a lot more to do on that, obviously, but I'm going to finish that off later because I want to basically prepare for the next day. Oh, excuse me, dust, which is the lacquering. So I'm just going to get rid of the worst of the dust here first. Okay. Right, so I've got these sleeves that the necks came in when they were delivered, which I think will be really useful for helping to audio mask this up. Okay, so oh dear, should wear a mask. Keep telling myself that. Okay, so yeah, so I want to get this masked up, ready to start doing the lacquering. And this is, you know, this is an important stage. We'll get some more tape, but it's got to be done really, really well. So I want to take my time over this and make sure it's right. So just think of the easiest way to mask the bottom end of these necks, fretboards. Okay, so I want to make sure that I mask up the fretboard. I don't want the lacquer on the fretboard, but I do want it to make a seal where the fretboard meets the body. So although I'm actually masking the fretboard up, I'm going to leave literally about, I don't know, 0.010 of an inch gap between the tape and the body, so that, you know, it will create a seal, you know, where the join is. I just think it will be better in the long run to do it that way. Because, as I said, I don't want the lacquer on the fretboard itself, but I do want, you know, where the join is to be sealed, and that's going to be the best way to do that. So, right. Okay, that all looks good. Up to there. Let's just make sure that's well stuck down on there, because, you know, lacquer, like most other things, will seep through if you haven't got it properly stuck down. Okay. So the back edge as well. Yeah, I'll go around a bit of a bend just there. That shouldn't be a problem. There we go. Yeah, and the same on the neck. Again, I don't want the lacquer on the neck itself, but I do still want to try and make a seal where the neck joins the body. Okay. Right, that's that part. Just place up the middle there. Right, one more there, and then I'll put that sleeve over as well. Make sure that's properly stuck down there. Right, that actually gone onto the body a little bit there with the tape, so I'll just carefully slice that off with my trusty scalpel blade, being careful not to cut into the wood of the body. Just turn it around a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Just slicing that little bit of extra masking tape off. Okay, that's good. Right, so these sleeves, kind of polystyrene type stuff, I guess. So I'm just going to slip that all the way over the neck. So this will save me using like 15 rolls of masking tape. And it's not permeable, so the lacquer isn't going to go through this stuff. I'll get it over the tuning key there. Of course, when these nets arrived, they didn't have tuning keys on them. Right, there goes that one. We're doing for time, okay. Right, so I'm going to just start by sealing this end up. Put some tape around there. He says. Oh. A little bit more around that end. Okay, that's looking good. Just definitely want to make sure that's stuck down properly there. Right. So a little bit of tape around the top end as well, just to hold it all in place. And a bit in the middle there, because it's a bit floppy there. Okay, so that's the, oh, I've got a little bit of a split there. I'll have to just tape that up. But that's the idea. So I've got the masking tape on the fretboard itself and around the back of the neck, and then just got this sleeve over the rest of it to protect it all. And I'll be doing exactly the same thing with the other side. I will finish the sanding on the back, obviously, before I start to apply the lacquer. So when I get to that stage, when I finish sanding the back, and I've got the whole thing ready for lacquering, I'll make another short video to show you that stage. And then when I'm actually doing the lacquering, waiting 24 hours of light sanding and then another coat, etc., etc., there's not going to be much, interesting video footage to see. So I will maybe do one or two very short ones just to show the progress, but there's not really much point doing a full video until I've got to the end of that stage. But there will be another one before that. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please give a thumbs up. It does help my logarithms, which I'm trying to get up a bit, and the subscribers, etc. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Please encourage some of your friends, relatives and colleagues to do the same, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to remind you of any upcoming videos. And we will see you in the next one. So please look after yourselves, look after each other. Peace out.